Welcome to What the Flick, everybody. Ben Mankiewicz, Alonso Duralde, Christy Lemire. I'm so excited about this movie. I know America is. Great cast. Gerard Butler, Dennis Quaid, all these great-looking women. Judy Greer. We love Judy Greer.
And you love soccer.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, Uma Thurman.
Yeah, and you love soccer so much.
Oh, my God, soccer. Enough with soccer in America. Let it go. Since I was 4 years old, I've been told that all the sports I love, they're done. Soccer's coming.
It is.
Yeah,
soccer is the metric system. Everybody else likes it. We're just never going to get it.
I love soccer in Europe, soccer in South America.
provincial.
God bless. Go forward.
Africa, they're all, but just not us.
But not in Carson.
And not in Carson, no. But this is a movie called Playing for Keeps we're talking about. This is Gerard Butler stars as a once great Scottish soccer player who has fallen on hard financial times. He goes back to suburban Virginia to reconnect with his ex-wife, played by Jessica Biel, and his Moppet-like 9-year-old son. And what do you know? They rope him into being the kids' soccer team coach. And all the milfy, hot-to-trot soccer moms cannot possibly control themselves when they see Gerard Butler and his sexy tousled mane of hair and start throwing their panties at him. Take a look.
Who's the new soccer coach?
Stacy's ex, the soccer player.
Soccer player.
Everyone loved George Dreyer,
You were a great player.
except the one person he always wanted.
You're the only woman I ever really loved.
So I asked this on Twitter, and I legitimately mean this. It's PG-13, and there's something like, it's for this and this and this, and for a brief, intense image. What is the brief, intense image that occurs in this movie? Is it when Dennis Quaid gets into a fight with him at the soccer match and tries to punch him or something?
In prison?
No.
I'm saying, I know, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Nothing
There's
is
nothing
intense.
intense in this movie.
Oh my God, there's so nothing.
Or brief, really, or brief enough.
This might be the worst movie of the year.
Yeah, you could make a really solid case for this being the worst movie of the year.
Yeah.
What did you describe it as the lead in your?
My headline was it was like a bicycle kick to the head.
Yeah, it was.
It's so bad.
It's brutal. I mean, it was like a slow-paced after-school special. Like it just. I mean, it was so mostly what I thought during it because we were at a screening where there were people who were like.
That's
hilarious.
That's exactly. No, she must have been a fan.
Oh, God. They hire
Cackling.
people to do this. Somebody did that to me at Gigli. I had a woman behind me who laughed at everything that came out of Ben Affleck's mouth, including shit happens.
Yeah, Gigli is better than this.
They hire people to do that.
Well,
I'd watch Gigli again before this.
There is no amount of she needed double time for this. But I thought more than being terrible was it being so profoundly dull. Like, I mean, just it was first of all, nothing sophisticated about how it was laid out. It was the easiest thing to follow in the world. You didn't need sound.
I wish they hadn't had sound.
That would have helped enormously. But I just thought, my God, it's just dull. Nothing interesting happened. Nothing visually interesting, and certainly
No,
nothing
and it's like
dialogue.
this is a movie that doesn't understand the basics of how people behave, what they care about, or how they would go about their business. Just the idea that he has to choose between, being around his son in Virginia or taking this gig at ESPN in Connecticut. Like there isn't a whole New York, DC media corridor going on where people live in one place and work in the other. And
I-95.
Yes, it's bullshit. And that's like that's only a tiny sliver of the giant tort of bullshit that this movie serves up.
Well, look, I would do a little spoiler alert here. For this movie, I can't believe this.
Spoil away.
Spoiler for this movie. So it's great. There's a whole there's DC and New York in between. Well, they're essentially in DC and Northern Virginia. So there's hundreds of possibilities between him staying reuniting with his family and going up to ESPN. But then at the end, here's the spoiler. She chooses him. They're together. He can go to ESPN. Like
all of them.
Like they can all go. Their whole thing is set. They don't need to stay there. He's got this great gig. They should go to Connecticut for his great job. But they don't even understand that in the movie.
No, and it's one of those movies where you realize, oh wait, they want us to root for Gerard Butler and Jessica Biel to get back together. But Gerard Butler and Jessica Biel should not get back together. Like it's what little we know about these stick cardboard characters is that they are well rid of each other.
You never understand what the magic was there in the first place.
And oh God, I mean Jessica Biel, bless, is a broomstick with a smile painted on it in this movie. Like,
and a fantastic ass.
So just nothing to play, nothing to do or think. Apparently, is just there on the screen.
And they make her weirdly frumpy. Like she's so sexy and she's like a curvy va-va-voomy kind of chick, and they make her really, really bland. But more bland than Jessica Biel is her fiance.
Oh, God.
Who apparently
Ralph Bellamy.
he has no job, he has no friends.
His name is James Tupper, and he's the guy who, by the way, does nothing except love Jessica Biel and provide for her and her kid, who she then is going to leave because of Gerard
Well,
Butler's
he's fucking boring. All he does is answer the door.
this is all he did all movie. Gerard Butler played George. Hey, George.
Right, he'll answer
Night,
the door.
George. Hey, George. Like his first 8 lines are greetings to George. This
He
poor
never
son of a
leaves the
bitch.
house. He's
Yeah.
there to answer the door
Oh
every
my
time
God.
Gerard Butler shows up. Will you please do your impression of me during the movie?
Yeah. So there was a couple times I would either go right or like ugh, like I'd have some reaction.
Response.
This is Christy the whole time. Her legs are crossed.
I'm very sexy, yes.
She's watching. Her arms are folded like this, and she does this the entire movie. So every time I look, nothing, except for one scene, and this is what happens when you have a child, I presume. There's a scene where Noah Lomax, who plays the cute little kid, right? He, like a father takes the kid out for a spin on the car, right? And that's a nice thing. It's usually in a parking lot. But Gerard Butler, because he's an imbecile, right?
Takes him on actual roads.
Takes him on the road, and they're clearly doing like 60
In a Ferrari.
in a Ferrari.
In a convertible.
At that point, Christy's been sitting like this. I swear to God, I looked at you 25 times. Right? And then for that scene, you were like. So that was the motherly instinct coming out. Just for that was your only emotional reaction.
Please don't crash with a small child. I also looked at my watch a few times.
I'm sure I must have missed you.
And I
later.
must have sighed.
For the longest time, I thought somebody in Hollywood is out to sabotage Gerard Butler. Like he fucked somebody's wife, or he screwed somebody over in a business deal, or just something happened where some person in power is like, I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to get this guy. We're going to put him in the worst movies, and we're going to destroy his career. Gerard Butler produced this thing. So Gerard Butler is part of the cabal that is destroying Gerard Butler's career.
He's self-loathing. Can we name a good Gerard Butler movie? Is there one?
You liked Machine Gun Preacher, didn't you?
No.
Oh, I thought you did like it. No.
Not Chasing Mavericks, not The Ugly Truth,
And
not The Bounty Hunter.
Not The Bounty Hunter,
God,
not The
certainly.
Phantom of the Opera.
I was going to say, Phantom of the Opera is looking better all the time by comparison.
Rock and Roller.
Rock and
Rock and
Rolla.
Rolla, okay.
He has a part in that. He's a supporting part
He's a
in that.
significant part in that. I think
I mean, he's got the stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
On paper, it's like, okay, yeah, Gerard Butler. But then, every Gerard Butler movie is just fucking
And
agony.
then so Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Judy Greer.
Judy Greer.
Judy Greer.
What a
How could
waste.
Judy Greer be in something bad?
She has like 10 times the screen time that she had in The Descendants, with like 1/1000th of the character to play.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I felt so bad for her.
She's so great. As soon as I saw that she was in it, I'm like, it can't be all bad.
Yeah.
If Judy Greer's in it, but it turned out.
Well,
it
here's the
can't.
problem, is that this movie is rampantly misogynistic. Because every woman in this thing is just a fucking idiot, and they just cast aside whatever sense of propriety
Totally,
they
yeah.
have,
Yeah.
or self-control.
dropping their panties for Gerard Butler.
So it's embarrassing, and this is like the male fantasy concocted by the screenwriter, and who is a man. And we should also mention the director is the person who did. His name is Gabriel Machino. He did Pursuit of Happiness and
Right.
7 Pounds.
And
Right, there's the
7
two-
pounds.
7 pounds. So he's got some mixed results with Will Smith. Not great, but this is just.
But those
dreadful.
movies are in a different league than this movie.
Should we do numbers?
Yeah, let's do numbers. All right.
I give it a 1 because Catherine Zeta-Jones looks very pretty in this.
She does look very pretty in it. You?
I'm being generous. I'm going to give it a 1.5.
Wow.
Why?
Just because there's at least a sort of baseline competence of where the camera is.
There are lights.
Yeah.
Someone lit it.
Right, it was sufficiently lit. Alonso Duralde.
Put that on the poster.
I gave it a 0.9 because I think it delivers a more impactful blow than giving it a 1. But Alonso janked it all the way up to a 1.1 as our overall rating.
It's at 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
0%.
I don't see it really
We'll probably stay
climbing
there,
anywhere from there.
Yeah,
So
it's
I don't see
impossible to like. Can't be liked.